Question number 6, Dr. Jian Yang.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Tertiary Education, Skills and Employment. What recent reports has he received on the value of international education to New Zealand?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr. Speaker, today I received a report which shows that the economic value of New Zealand's international education sector rose to $4.28 billion last year, a 50% increase from what the sector was last measured in 2014. The report, produced for Education New Zealand by Infometrics and the National Research Bureau, showed the industry supported 32,000 jobs in 2015, and the combined onshore and offshore delivery of international education is now New Zealand's 4th largest export industry, overtaking the wood processing sector. This report highlights we're well on our way to delivering on the 2010 target to lift the economic value of international education to $5 billion by 2025.
Supplementary question, David Seymour.
What would be the effects on this industry of reducing net permanent and long-term arrivals into New Zealand to 15,000, as some have advocated?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Well, Mr. Speaker, the member asked a fair question. The definition of permanent and long-term migrants is anybody who's in the country for more than a year, and particularly for the higher level students, the degree, masters and PhD students. They generally are in the country for longer than that period because it takes longer to actually achieve their qualifications. They are, of course, the sort of people we want to attract. So if you dropped it to about 15,000, then obviously we wouldn't be able to continue with that part of the industry.
Supplementary question, Dr. Jian Yang.
Why is international education important to New Zealand?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Well, Mr. Speaker, while the economic value and the jobs it provides is important, one of the other important areas is the wider benefits that the international education sector brings to our country. International students add a rich diversity to our learning institutions, and they help to connect New Zealand to the world. Right back to the Colombo Plan, the relationships and networks developed with people from around the world through international education play a vital role in New Zealand's business relationships with other countries. The relationships being formed now will help to secure New Zealand's trading, investment and education linkages for our future prosperity.
Further supplementary.
Supplementary question, Dr. Jian Yang.
What impact is the growth of international education having across New Zealand?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Well, Mr. Speaker, one positive highlight of the report is the widespread growth of the sector, with total student numbers up 25% from 2012 and all sectors showing an increase. Primary schools have gone up significantly, private training establishments, secondary schools and so on. The sector also grew in all regions between 2012 and 2015. Largest value growth by region was Auckland, which experienced a 55% increase. Canterbury grew 71% in the same period, Waikato grew 45%, and the South Island, excluding Canterbury and Otago, grew 152%. That reflects the efforts of education providers nationwide to deliver excellent education around the country.
Question, point of order, Andrew Little.
Mr. Speaker, I seek leave to table a transcript from Radio New Zealand from 5 September 2016 in which the Prime Minister states, amongst other things, in relation to young people, or they just can't muster what is required to actually work.
No. Those transcripts are available and easily sourced by any member if they want them. Question